Hello and welcome. This is Phil Briscoe. I'm here at Larford Lakes. It's September the 12th and today is the grand final of Golden Reel. So pegged on both banks, looking forward to a great final today. Pressure's a bit high, might be a little bit difficult fishing to start with, but I'm still expecting some good weights. What's in it for the anglers? Well, the winner today is going to walk away with a magical £50,000. Second will get 3,000 and third 2,000, and then there's 4 section winners on the lake as well. So all to play for. Follow us as the day goes along because there's going to be some tremendous fishing and we're following some absolutely brilliant anglers. 25, 22 pegs in the bag. Right, we'll start the draw off with, this is in draw order as the qualifiers took place. Qualifying on the semi-final with a massive 222 pound 6 ounce off the match lake, Tony Coates. It's drawn, the same peg, peg 11.
Well, obviously due to COVID it's been difficult for everyone, so I've been sort of keeping a close eye on it, making sure that, you know, as soon as I could get back out onto the in the game again, as it's to say the least. And I concentrated mainly this year on Larford Lakes, if I'm honest with you, because obviously the finals here, it's a venue that suits me. I know it pretty well, and also it's been pretty good to me over the years. So I've fished 2 or 3 qualifiers. I've drawn the match lake 3 times, twice up the end of the bowl by the island, and 2 good draws. Managed a 3rd or a 4th, I think, and then the last match was a nice one. I managed to qualify. It's been a long time coming. I've been 3 years where I've not been in a final, and I was starting to think it might not happen again. But yeah, I'm just glad to be here. It's amazing, mate, amazing. Well, I mean, fair play to Phil Briscoe and his team here at Larford Lakes. I mean, it's anyone who isn't into fishing, this is what it's all about. I mean, you know, guys like Phil and the people at Larford have just kept this sport going in the toughest of times. So, you know, please support them every year. I mean, fair play to them. It's just an amazing event and it will get better. You know, I mean, there's a semi-final as well. So, and as you can see, the chap who's qualified on Wednesday on the semi-final, drawn the same peg, so he's got an amazing chance today. Yeah, it's really, really worth a good go and support it as much as you can.
Well, I was lucky enough to qualify quite early. I think it was on my 2nd attempt at Woodlands View, and that was before lockdown. So yeah, quite lucky to get it out of the way. And today I've drawn a peg I've fished quite a bit before. I've actually drawn this peg twice in big finals, and the last time was in a match this final when Zach Brown won, and I was 900 grams off winning, so hopefully I could do one better today. Catch lots of fish. Here's the plan of attack. Hopefully it goes right, but you know, anything can happen. Fish have got fins, they can turn up anywhere, and hopefully they'll turn up here. Yeah, it's a brilliant venue. The pegs are far enough apart and everyone's got a bit of space, and the thing with big fish, they can, like I said, they can turn up anywhere. So even going into the last hour, even if you've not caught anything, you've still got a chance. So yeah, it makes it a great venue for a final like this.
Yeah, it was quite interesting this year. Come quite close in quite a few of the qualifiers and managed to get on the semi-final. I've drawn the Specie Lake, which was probably quite good for me in the end because I've drawn that lake more often than not in the qualifiers here at Larford. And I drew a peg that was good the week before, peg 74, but the match was won on 72 the week before. So I did fancy it, and I've seen a few carp early, and luckily I've managed to catch 4 in the first hour, just slapping a rig at 16 metres. And the lake just seemed to switch off after that. The sun's come out, it's gone a bit flat, and I fished with skimmers the rest of the match and caught, I think I had 23 pounder skimmers as well, so I've ended up with 75 pound and managed to win the lake. 50 grand for me would be life-changing. It's a lot of money. I'd probably put a deposit down on a house because I've been saving for a little while, so that would be a big contribution, let's put it that way. The plan of attack today is probably going to be a bit of everything. Start short, like a lot of people do here. Maybe a bit of shallow fishing, maybe a method feeder in the middle of the match when it's a bit tough. It's so hard to say here at Larford because it's quite a moody venue, but what is clear is you almost always have to catch down the edge in the last hour or on a short pole, so that's probably the most important method of the day.
I come with an open mind. I've only fished it once, but on the Spessy Lake. Didn't do so well, but I had another one to do, but I had to cancel it last minute. The next minute I got an email saying that I was in the semi, so I finished the festival at my local pond and decided to get my gear together and get me sent down here and fancy my chances. What I expected on the day, bit rubbish weather, but it's turned out good, and I've expected a few cruising at the end of the day and it's worked out, and a few in the margins, but it all can change. It's a different wind today. It's bright from the start, so I'm hoping for a few muggers at the start, but there's not many showing at the moment, but we'll see. I think I'll just try and attack it the way I did last time, and there was a few things I probably could have done on Wednesday a bit better, and hopefully what I've learnt a bit on Wednesday will help me today. Like.
Okay, well, I qualified at the Glebe. It's just up 10 minutes from my house, so it's a nice local venue. I just had one of them days where everything goes right. I fished up the edge all day, ended up with about 220 pound, I think. It was a very close match in the end with the top 5 or 6 people, I think, but just had one of them days where it all goes right and end up here in the final. So. Okay, so I think most people's plan of attack early will be maybe nick a fish short, bomb and pellet after that, and then it's hoping that the last couple of hours they come down them edges. Now on the grass bank, most of the time they come in the edges, so I was really happy with the draw. I said when I seen the pegs going, I could see 8 and 9 go just before, so I thought I'll either want 7 or the end peg 11, and I got 7, so I'm happy with the draw, and hopefully they come in these edges. They look brilliant down there, nice and shallow and a bit of cover as well. So it's just down to that last hour and a half really, if them big fish come in. I think it's exactly what match fishing needs. There's the other big events, there's Fisho and Maver, and there needs to be more to go at like this, like 50 grand. I think it's exactly what the sport needs to keep it going, and I think it's big things to come.
Qualified at Larford Lakes on Benny's peg 6, had 181 pound of F1s, mainly on shallow on pellets and casters, to get through to me second year in the final. Last year I drew peg 1, and this year I've drawn peg 2. It's not really where you want to be, but a bit of hope that the wind's blowing down here, but you just know really that you just haven't really got much of a chance. But you never know in these finals. Like look, last year like Jamie won it off opposite, you didn't really want to draw there, like the favourite pegs are like obviously down the other end of the lake, but you just never know. It's just going to be a simple match for me really, just fishing to win, bomb and pellet and a method, and then hopefully they come down the edges. Like Phil does a brilliant job of the golden reel, and yeah, I just think everyone should like keep it going, keep as much interest as you can in it. Like it's gone really well for him here this year. He's had like quite a lot of sellouts on his qualifiers, so if it just carries on like this, I think he'll keep it running.
I'm here now with Sam Brown. Sam's clearly leading the way at the moment. It's a tough match today, you know, and I think we're going to be looking at catching fish late down edges and this sort of thing. But at the moment, Sam's clearly leading the way. Sam, what weight do you reckon you've got so far?
28-30 pounds.
28 to 30 pounds. I think you've got a little bit more than that. Your last fish was what, 10 pound, wasn't it?
He was, yeah, it's a bit of a lump.
Yeah. And you're catching on the method feeder?
Yes, yeah.
Any other methods, or bomb and pellet caught you any fish?
Got one on the bomb.
One on the bomb.
Yeah. Just ticking over really.
Yeah.
Before they come in the edges.
Yeah. Well, we'll get out your way. We'll keep low, but he's looking now down this weed margin here, catching down his edges. He's on a good area for that. He could catch either left or right of his peg on this peg, you know, no problem. But he's had a few method feeder fish leading the way. That's Sam Brown, everybody. In third place, with a weight of £45, 13 ounces from peg 10, picking up his £2,000 is James Evans. Go on, Jamie boy. James Evans, everybody. Well done, James Evans. In second place, and pushing it to the wire, I've got to say, this meant effectively there was one fish between you really. he was out of it and he come very strong at the end on a difficult day with a weight of 59 pound 1 ounce from peg 22, picking up 3,000 pounds, John Hanum. Well done, John. That's John, everybody, give him a round of applause. And the winner, what can I say? Right, he qualifies for the final from the semi-final. He draws peg 28. He obliterates the match. And today he's fished on a peg that's not quite the same. When 30's in, it levels it down. He was in there, out there, in there, out there. We got him as winning, then not winning. I think his last fish swung it for us, Tom, didn't it? So, the winner with 68 pound 1 ounce from peg 11, picking up 50,000 pounds, and the trophy is Tony Coates. Well, I'm stood here with today's winner, Tony Coates, on the Golden Reel final here at Larford Lakes. Now, it was only Wednesday, Tony, when I spoke to you last, when you snuck through on the semi-final.
Yeah, I did.
With a massive £228,
222.
£222. And guess what? He's gone and drawn the same peg again. Now, that in its own right, you couldn't bet on.
No.
But you've gone on it. Totally different day, Tone.
It is. It's different to see him not in the margins really. They've been more spread out along the lake, I reckon, but I thought the middle part was much more fish in the middle part.
Well, let's
today.
be fair. I mean, the lakes today have fished absolutely awful. There's been a high pressure coming, well over 1,000, whatever it is, 1,000 on the old meter, and it's been just a really muggy, horrible, high pressure day. And although we've run the aerators and everything else, those fish didn't look like they wanted it from the word go. Yeah. Yesterday, if the final had been on, it would have been some fantastic race, but it's been one of them days. So it's made it into a proper fishing match.
It has, yes.
Because going into the last half an hour even of the match, one of 10 anglers could have snuck through and won that, as crazy as it sounds. But you kept your nerve, you had a fish, a big one close to the end, didn't you?
Yeah, it was about £5-6 that sealed the deal really.
That sealed the deal.
Yes.
So there you have it, from peg 28, Tony Coates goes home with £50,000.
Thank you, Phil.
I've asked you this before, Tony, what are you going to do with it?
I'll put a deposit on an house and get me send a nice van, I guess.
Well, that's the way to finish the competition. When it goes towards a house and everything, I feel I've done my part with running the competition. I'm absolutely delighted for you, Tony.
Thank you, Phil.
Do hope you're going to defend your title next year.
Hopefully.
Okay.
I'll definitely put my money into it again.
All right. Well, that's Tony Coates, everybody. 2020 Golden Reel champion. Well done, Tony.
Cheers.